Good morning. Our board is called to order. It's 9:09 a.m. Today is Thursday, October 30th, 2025. Could you call the roll, please?
Ms. Renata?
Here.
Ms. Singleton?
Here.
Mr. Prater?
Here.
Mr. Tillett?
Here.
Mr. Freeman?
Here.
All right.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Our first item, we will allow public comment on requests before any action or vote is taken. Our first item under regular business this morning is review and approval of the minutes from yesterday, October 29th, our regular meeting. Those are in your packet. Are there any corrections? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the minutes.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion by Mrs. Stapleton, second by Mr. Tillis. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Thank you. Then our next item under regular business is consideration of applications for clemency. And our first case this morning on the docket is at the State Police Barracks. Morning, Captain. Would you and your staff please introduce yourself for the record?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. Captain Patrick Washington. It's me again.
Okay. Thank you very much for accommodating us. And we have Mr. Kennedy with us.
Yes, ma'am. Desmond Kennedy, 495-912.
All right, Mr. Kennedy. So let me read some identifying information into the record and we'll get started.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Kennedy, you're classified as a third felony offender.
Yes, ma'am.
You were sentenced in Lafourche Parish
Yes, ma'am.
in February 2014 for a home invasion conviction. You received a 20-year sentence. You don't have a parole eligibility date, but you do have a good time date, which is in January 2029. Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Your case was assigned to Mr. Tillis, seated to my far left. I'm going to turn it over to him.
Good morning.
Hey, sir. Good morning. How you doing?
All right. Warden, could you tell us a little something about Mr. Kennedy, please?
Yes, sir. First of all, thank y'all for having us this morning. We greatly appreciate it. Seems like it's been a long time since I've seen all of y'all.
Yeah.
Desmond is one of our offenders who works at the headquarters. They call it a campus, the headquarters campus. And he works in a very secure location. I could talk about his job performance. I could talk about his institutional record, but the thing I want y'all to hear from me today is what he's doing now. And that's he's working in a program, and I'm sure y'all are aware of, Beyond Bars with the Louisiana Crimestoppers. Just this past Monday, he and Rashawn Williams were able to go to New Orleans and participate in the National Crimestoppers Convention, and we got some really good feedback. In fact, one of their session was one of the best sessions that the place had. I've seen firsthand the impact that these young men are making on the lives of teenagers who are some at risk, some not, but it doesn't matter where they are. They're hearing a message of what one mistake can do to change your life. And like I said, firsthand knowledge of what it's doing and how it's impacting the youth in our community. So I'm very grateful for that. The other thing I will tell you about his commitment as a parent and as a husband. Every opportunity his wife and children get to come, they do. And he, even behind bars, is a positive role model in their lives. I'm glad that he's with us, but I look forward to seeing him move forward, progress, and grow. So thank y'all.
Thank you so much. Mr. Kennedy,
Yes, sir.
tell us something about yourself. What caused you to be incarcerated, and what are you doing now to better yourself, please?
Okay. First off, I want to thank y'all for this opportunity. First of all, thank God for the opportunity, and thank y'all for bringing me before y'all to be heard. I'm incarcerated for a home invasion. On January 20th, 2013, I come to prison on a home invasion. It was a drug deal, and I went back and kicked the guy's door in, me and a couple other guys, and went back, on bad intentions. And first off, it was wrong. I had no business of putting the victims in that traumatizing situation. it could have went both ways where lives could have been lost. And I really shamed those people and shamed my family. And I just want to apologize to the victims because I never had the chance to really do that. And I want to say I'm sorry to them for putting them in this position, traumatizing them. So I come to prison, and my redemption journey started right then and there because I had to ask myself if I wanted to keep putting myself through this and put my family through this. And I took the necessary steps possible. I took every class possible, and I went back and actually facilitated all of the classes. In the notable classes, I took anger management. And that's what I had problems with, actually dealing with anger and acting out of emotion instead of logic. So I took anger management. Um, and that class actually helped me to deal with conflict resolution. And it showed me how to deal with anger in the right way instead of the wrong way. And it's easy to walk away instead of just provoking a situation to be worse than what it is. Um, so I developed all of my spiritual grounding. I took New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary. That taught me how to go to God if I have problems and to deal with my problems the right way. And it also it gave me that spiritual grounding. It helped me navigate through my incarceration, and it gave me a real spiritual balance. I went back and actually facilitated that class also. Experiencing God helped me too. And one that really, really taught me something was victim awareness. Why victim awareness? It was because it shows the trauma that we cause people whenever we commit these senseless crimes. So I got into juvenile awareness, and I started teaching the youth, talking to the youth in prison. And that's when my youth journey started, with talking to the youth in prison. And I saw the impact that it actually made on teaching these youth and how to deal with the conflicts that they had, and everything don't have to be handled out of violence. So well, I heard a story during victim awareness from a lady. She lost her daughter, and it hit hard for me because I have kids. And it's like everybody that was affected by my crime, it made me realize that, hey man, you can't keep putting yourself or putting others in harm's way. So I did everything I was supposed to do. I come to the state police barracks June 25th, 2018. I've been here ever since. And that's when I met with Mr. Don Capola of Crimestoppers. And at the job that I worked at headquarters. And I was seeing a lot of the teens come into prison. And I was just seeing them come through there, and it did something to me because, like, when I was seeing those kids, I was seeing my sons. And I got with Mr. Don, and it was a conversation that me and him had. And I told him, I'm like, everything these kids doing right now, like, I wonder if they really understand the trouble that they are causing themselves and other people. So we came up with the initiative Beyond Bars, and we started that to try to curb the crime and put preventative measures in place to talk to these kids and share the testimonies of the stuff that we've been through and everything our crimes cause. So I've been doing that. It's been successfully changing lives. I did a lot of back to school events where I gave away free haircuts to the kids that I encountered, and upon my release, if I am granted, I want to go back to barber school to get my instructor license to where I can open up a barber shop, and all of the kids that I impact, I'm able to help them, not just by talking to them, but giving them an opportunity to be better people.
Very good, very good. How old were you when you committed this crime?
I was 23.
Were you on drugs? Were you using drugs then?
No, sir, not like that, but not that night. But I have done drugs in the past. And the drug that I've done was ecstasy and marijuana.
Okay. Have you had any classes on drug?
Yes, sir. I took NAAA during my incarceration.
Okay, thank you so much. We're going to ask some more questions later on, but you have some people here on your behalf. Oh, man. In person, we have Miss Kennedy, your wife, Miss Capola. I'm sorry, Don Capola with Crimestoppers, and Johnny Dunham, Crimestoppers. And you have your sister-in-law here, Miss Cryer, Mr. Cox, your brother-in-law, Patrice Cox, your sister-in-law, Gloria, how do you pronounce that? Naveen, your mother-in-law, and Miss Cox, Marquita Cox, your sister, and Adrian Coleman, your brother-in-law. We have 3 speakers that's going to speak on your behalf, and I guess we'll have your wife first. Knows a little about you. You want to go up to the podium and tell us what you want us to know about him?
Yeah. First of all, I want to say thank y'all for having me and allowing me to speak this morning. I am Desmond's wife, Lanita. I'm here to testify on his transformation. I speak on behalf of our children as well. He's proven through his humility, his consistency, his faith, and accountability. He's ready for the next chapter. I believe in him. We all believe in him. We're gonna all hold him accountable. He is loving, compassionate, caring, and supportive, even from behind the walls. He shows up for the kids. He's there for them. He prays with them, and he holds them accountable for their actions. He's a respectable person to kids, and we all respect him. We respect what he has to say. Having him home for the kids, it will give them that father presence that they need in their day-to-day lives. Sometimes a phone call, a few hours of visitation just won't cut it because they're at critical stages in their lives. We also understand that transitioning home for him is a major change, and we're making adaptations at home to be available, our family, so that we can hold him accountable. We just want to be equipped with the tools that he's going to need, and us, with him coming home, so we can be ready. We are going to do counseling, whether that's individual, as a couple, as family, whatever we need. We also have the spiritual covering from our pastors, who's going to hold us accountable. As his wife, I'm not going to accept anything less than what I know he's capable of. He's been showing me his best lately, so I'm not settling for nothing less. So he will have to keep up the good work. Everything that we're doing at home, we recently relocated here to Baton Rouge, outside of the area where the offense occurred, so that we can be in the midst of all of the positivity and the resources and the connections that he's made during his incarceration. So a stable home, reliable transportation, all of the things, we're being intentional about choosing our next steps as we prepare for him to come home. He had a moment when he spoke at a youth event with the kids through Crimestoppers, and he was overwhelmed by the response from the children, and he realized that that was his purpose. A lot of people, they are able to find their purpose in difficult situations like he has. So it really solidified that for him. If granted, he's going to continue to work hard. He's going to continue the work that he started. He's going to strengthen our family. And he's going to mentor the youth. And he, will restore our home and expand his ability to reach the young children who desperately need guidance and hope from someone who understands their struggle. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Next. On Crimestoppers, we have Mr. Capola.
Good morning. Yeah, thank you for having me. So Des and I go back around 7 years. First met him at the Violent Crimes Unit, State Police Headquarters. He worked on the floor that Crimestoppers offices on. As he mentioned, you would see these kids coming in and out, getting arrested, and they have no clue. So he and I collaborated, said, hey, we need an initiative through Crimestoppers, and that is Beyond Bars, Choices, and Consequences. Des and Rashawn Williams, we go to schools, talk to the kids, they share their stories to these kids, and you would not believe the impact that they have had on these children. So we started this the latter part of 2024, and we're full steam ahead. Desmond is committed. If granted a release, he's like, I'm with you until the end. And that says a lot. We communicate on a daily basis. We plan ahead for our next events. As Ms. Kennedy said, we were just in New Orleans, Louisiana at the Crimestoppers USA Conference. And these are Crimestopper coordinators, directors, law enforcement from not only across the United States, but across the world, internationally. The impact that was made on them with the program that we started here by a simple conversation. It was one of the best sessions of the conference. We will go to a school, the kids afterwards sidebar with Desmond. If it's a troubled kid, I will give that kid my contact information so they can reach out to me in attempts to contact Des. Maybe it's something they messed up over the weekend. Maybe they just need that little extra support. So we have a conference call and he listens, he instructs, he gives advice, whatever he can do for these kids to change their life, and you wouldn't imagine the impact. The Department of Corrections, they were at Estruma High School with Mayor Edwards, interviewed Des and Rashawn, and it was a great program that we are continuing to grow. My phone rings daily from schools within the non-parish area that Crimestoppers covers, requesting them to come. And I'm sure Captain Washington, when he sees my phone call, he's like, here we are, which is a great problem to have. And we just hope that he is given an opportunity to continue to work with Beyond Bars from a different perspective than he is now. So thank you. Please consider what's best for he and his family, and you know, I'm a great friend, and I consider him and his family, you know, part of mine as well. They stuck with me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Mr. Don?
Thank y'all for having us, letting us talk in favor of Desmond. I'm Johnny Dunham. Never thought I'd be here asking for clemency. I was retired police chief, 32 years with PRPD, executive director for Capital Region Crimestoppers. But over the last 5 years, I've got to know Des at working at the BCU, and then with the Capital Region Crimestoppers Beyond Bars program. And I'm so impressed with the work that he does with us, even before he came in with us to help you have to understand, Don and I would go into schools and you have two law enforcement, present law enforcement guy, retired law enforcement guy trying to talk to youth, at-risk youth. It would go in one ear and out the other. You couldn't even get them to put down their cell phones. When Des first came with us to Beyond Bars, went to Geo Prep Academy. I'm not sure, I'll never forget. He started speaking. Initially, they had their phones and all up, and watching their faces and the fact that they started to drop their phones, and listen to Des, his story. You know, just the issues that he had growing up. A lot of these kids had the same issues, and it connected. And Don and I were like, "Wow, this is working. You know, this is really starting to get through." I mean, we have done events in schools, Livonia, Baton Rouge schools at Eskrima, Livingston Alternative School. We have been to so many schools, and we have gotten, you know, we cover a 9-parish area, like Don said. And we've got sheriffs. I got the sheriff in Assumption that just called me the other day. So I heard about the program from Sheriff Thibodeau and Point Capee, and you know, they're constantly now calling saying, "Can you bring the Des in LA to here?" So the program's working. It's been great. You know, if there is anybody watching Des and you know every day at work and everything else, it's not just about the program. It's just about his attitude. And the fact that you can tell that you know the goal of the board is to you know give clemency to somebody that is what you consider reformed, then Des is a prime candidate. And I can't think of any inmate that would be more deserving of clemency than Desmond Kennedy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dunn. Ed, you got some big guns talking for you, and we appreciate the work that Crimestoppers is doing. Are they talking about you?
Sir, I want to first start off by thanking them for being here for me and my family, because it just touched me in a whole different way. Just not just hearing them speak, because being in the action of doing the things you do, you don't think about the impact that you make on the people around you. And that's how passionate I am about what I do and who I do it for. At Geo Prep, I spoke to these kids and I was explaining how I came up and the things that I experienced coming up. And seeing these kids really react to me how they did when I gave my testimony, God showed me right in that moment that that's my purpose. God will use my testimony to change these kids' lives. And how I am with my kids, see, I treat these kids like they're my own. And I hold them accountable like they're my own. And I just try my best to pour back into these kids. You know, a lot of these kids don't have the opportunity to have people in their lives that are able to pour from them, pour into them, and also understand them. And I understand because I was once delinquent also myself. And all I just try to do is try to give them a positive outlook on life and try to give them the reality of the choices that they make. I didn't have a perfect life, and I have learned over the years not to blame nobody for the circumstances that I was into, because my own choices led me there. And I try to tell these kids to be accountable for every decision you make, because it's a ripple effect. And they don't understand that ripple effect and what it does. Like, everybody loses. I had just spoke to a kid yesterday, to be exact, and I told this kid that I could recount all of my times in the streets. I never won nothing. Ain't nothing about the streets is glorifying. Ain't nothing in there, man. I have so many losses that I had in the streets, and it's just keeping yourself accountable, man. And talking to these kids holds me accountable also, because I have to be I have to be accountable because now I'm a leader and I have kids that follow me. So I want to be the positive example for them.
Thank you so much. Maybe some of my colleagues might have some questions.
Yo, Dad, you damn sure can talk the talk. But give me some assurance here. I mean, what you did to those people wasn't that great, you know, made them strip and all of that. So, what kind of effect you think you had on your victims?
First off, I want to apologize again for the humiliation, the trauma, everything that happened that night. It wasn't supposed to happen. And the things that I've done to those victims shouldn't have happened to those people. They did not deserve that in no form or fashion. I could sit here and say I'm sorry 1,000 times, but if I don't change the person that I am and don't be accountable for what I do, then what sense it makes for me to even show sorrow if I'm not changing or being a better person? And those people did not deserve that night. I could say a drug deal went bad. Still, that does not. I had no business being in that position to where I put those people in there to have to deal with that. And I'm not here to say that I deserve anything. I'm just asking for mercy because those people didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve that on no account.
That's a good answer. Okay, thank you.
How many years have you served of your 20-year sentence?
13 in January, sir.
And that includes time before you were sentenced, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 13. What happened to the dog?
I'm laughing because honestly, that situation, I don't know what happened to the dog after we got arrested. I don't know if the dog was returned back to their own or whatever like that, but that was very stupid also.
But y'all didn't hurt the dog, right?
No, sir.
Okay, that's all the questions I have.
Well, it seems like your life was a pathway leading to what it ended up that night, because prior to that, you had numerous arrests.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
on that count, a total of, at different times, 24 worthless checks. So how did you make out those checks? And was it from individuals' checkings account? And did you make restitution? How did that go?
Actually, it was from my own account. So
Okay.
I'm gonna explain something that I did that was very, very stupid on my behalf. And this is the false ideologies that's being taught in the streets. So I was selling drugs and I would put money into an account and I would burn that account out. And what I would do if I take a loss in the streets, I would write those checks to recompensate for what I lost. Stupid. Yes, it was. And that's where all of that came from.
All the charges were on you for worthless checks.
Yes, ma'am.
That explains it. I couldn't understand how it got like that. And then just like Mr. Freeman was talking about, I mean, from 2010 to 2014, you know, there was this pathway.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you just cared less and less about the crime and more about what you wanted. I can only imagine what those victims went through that night. That was your crescendo. It really was. It ended up in that. And so there is victims in something like this, and they don't get over it overnight. So you place the fear in them that who knows how long that it will last. And also, I did want to say that all law enforcement is opposed to you getting out early, getting a commutation. That's what I wanted to say.
I just have one thing to ask you. You know, we talked about the victim of your home invasion, and you said you didn't do drugs, you sold drugs, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So how many victims do you think you got in that?
Oh, a lifetime of them. I I be so embarrassed sometimes when I sit back and think about how I came up in a household with a mother on drugs, and I sold the same drugs that incapacitated my mother.
Yeah, you saw what it did to her.
Yes, yes, ma'am. And
So let's talk about your children. How many kids you got? You got 5 kids?
6.
6.
Yes,
What's
ma'am.
their ages? What's their ages?
They are 18, 17, 16, 14, 13, and 15.
13, 14, 15, 16,
Yes.
17. Okay.
Yes.
Same mother?
No, and that's me, and the mothers combined. Well, me and my wife combined.
Your kids, her kids, and y'all's kids?
Yes, I call
I got
all of my kids. Yes, ma'am.
I understand, yeah. Okay, well, all I have to say is you're very lucky that your wife has stood by you all this time.
I'm so thankful and grateful for my whole family that has stuck by me through this time. And that's what makes it even harder for me to look at the victims, because here it is, I'm blessed to have this support.
Okay, well, we're gonna move on.
I'm
Mr.
good.
Tillis?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ready to
are
vote.
there any other questions? All right, we're ready to vote, Mr. Tillis.
Mr. Kennedy, I think you've done some bad things. And, I see the remorsefulness in you. I see that you've changed and we need more guys like you to help these young guys. You got 4 big guns with you, Captain Washington and your friends here, and especially your wife.
Thank you.
And I hope you don't disappoint them.
Well,
My vote today is going to be to commutation of sentence to 13 years.
Mrs. Stapleton?
thank you.
My vote today is to deny, based upon your extensive criminal history and the number of victims seen and unseen by you that your crimes have caused, complete law enforcement opposition, and I think your sentence of 20 years was a fair sentence considering everything that happened.
Mr. Prater?
I take into consideration very strongly what the police chief here with Crimestoppers now and what the captain says about his behavior now. And I look at all the reports and I think this is the kind of person, the reason we're here is to try to sift out the wheat from the chaff, if that's the term. And I think he's got the potential to be wheat. And so my vote is to grant to immediate parole eligibility.
Mr. Freeman?
You changed my mind. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had deny written all over my paper after I read the offense report, but you gave me the answers I wanted to hear. I do think you need to be on supervision, so I'm also gonna grant with immediate parole eligibility.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Kennedy, I've been impressed with what the captain had to say. I'm impressed with you overcoming a lot of odds based on where you came from. And I'm glad to see you making a positive impact. You could do some good. I agree with my colleagues. My vote today also is to vote that your sentence be commuted to immediate parole eligibility. So you did get 4 votes to commute your sentence. So that's the recommendation we will make on your behalf. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank y'all so much.
Captain, that
Thank you.
concludes our business. We're going to
See
sign
y'all
off.
again soon.
All right.